it's Miss Angie, and I am so glad that you decided to join me today as we read Guess How Much I Love You. This is the sign for I love you. Look at the cover of this book, Preschool Pals. What do you see? You see a big rabbit. Well, this is even bigger than a rabbit. This animal is what we call a hare. Can you say that with me? Hare. And this story has two people. Well, not really people, but animals. Two animals in it. Do you see who those animals might be? That's right. The big one is called Big Nut Brown Hare. That means it's an animal that's bigger than a rabbit. And the small one, holding on to those big, long rabbit ears, that is Little Nut Brown Hare. Can everybody say, "Hi, Big Nut Brown Hare"? "Hi, Little Nut Brown Hare." Okay, are you ready to join me? Wait a minute, who noticed? That's right, I am wearing my long rabbit ears. If you have some rabbit ears, you can put yours on too. Now come along as we read Guess How Much I Love You by Sam McBratney. Little Nut Brown Hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hare's very long ears. Look at that. He wanted to make sure that Big Nut Brown Hare was listening. "Guess how much I love you," he said. "Oh, I don't think I could guess that," said Big Nut Brown Hare. Oh my goodness. How much do you think that Little Nut Brown Hare loves Big Nut Brown Hare? A lot. That's what I think too. Let's find out what he says. "This much," said Little Nut Brown Hare, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go. Look at that, Preschool Pals. Can you take your arms and stretch them out as wide as they can go? Is that how much you love your grown-ups? All right, it is. Let's see what Big Nut Brown Hare has to say about that. Big Nut Brown Hare had even longer arms. Preschool Pals, look how long Big Nut Brown Hare's arms are. They're very long. "But I love you this much," he said. That is a lot, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. That is a lot indeed. "I love you as high as I can reach," said Little Nut Brown Hare. Preschool Pals, let's try to reach as high up into the sky as you possibly can. Stretch those arms. Stretch. Are you reaching really high? Great job. I'm so proud of you. "I love you as high as I can reach," said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is quite high, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I had arms like that. Do you wish that you had arms as long as Big Nut Brown Hare? You do? Those are really long arms. Then Little Nut Brown Hare had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. Preschool pals, do you see that? His feet are pushed up against the tree. Oh my goodness. I love you all the way to my toes, he said. Wow, preschool pals, that's a long way to love somebody, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I love you all the way up to your toes, said Big Nut Brown Hare, swinging him up over his head. Oh my goodness, preschool pals, that looks like they're having so much fun. Look at that. I love you as high as I can hop, laughed Little Nut Brown Hare. Oh my goodness, Little Nut Brown Hare is hopping really high. Preschool pals, help me as I count how many hops that Little Nut Brown Hare is making. We're going to start at the top. Get your pointer finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He hopped. How many times, preschool pals? 7 times. Wow, you guys are so smart. He was hopping, bouncing up and down. That's right. But I love you as high as I can hop, smiled Big Nut Brown Hare, as he hopped so high his ears touched the branches. Preschool pals, that is so high. Oh my goodness. That's good hopping, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I could hop like that. Do you wish that you could hop as high as Big Nut Brown Hare? You do? Me too. I love you all the way down the lane as far as the river, cried Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you across the river and over the hills. Oh my goodness, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That's a long way, preschool pals. That is very far, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. He was almost too sleepy to think anymore. When you get sleepy, do you yawn? I yawn when I'm sleepy. Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes and out into the dark night. Nothing could be farther than the sky. You see that, preschool pals? It's dark outside, and look up. Do you see the sun or the moon in the sky? That's right. It's the moon. That's how we know it's nighttime. I love you right up to the moon, he said, and he closed his eyes. Oh, that's far, said Big Nut Brown Hair. That is very, very far. Preschool pals, look how much love that Big Nut Brown Hair and Little Nut Brown Hair are showing each other. Big Nut Brown Hair is holding Little Nut Brown Hair, kind of like your grown-ups hold you and love you. Doesn't that make you feel so good inside? Big Nut Brown Hair settled Little Nut Brown Hair into a bed of leaves. It's his bed, just like your bed at home. He leaned over and kissed him goodnight. Kind of like your grown-ups do that when they tuck you in bed, right? And then he lay down close by and whispered with a smile, I love you right up to the moon and back. Preschool pals, I know that your grown-ups feel that same way about you. So maybe the next time you see your grown-up, you can tell them, I love you all the way to the moon and back. And then you can give them a great big hug. That would make them feel very, very special. Preschool pals, you are all so very special to me. Thank you for joining me as I read my stories with you. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Easter, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.